Okay, what's up everybody? This is Joseph Boone and welcome to the Phantom Side channel. We're here with more London Detective Stories. And we're here on Watson's Route. So I already did some 3 choices and now, I think I already did some choices I already did. So let's continue. Emily. Wow, this one came fast. This sounds fishy. This sounds fishy to me. It does. It's quite strange. No one can interfere that much. You haven't been sending people to spy on me for a while, haven't you? Oh dear, you do not trust people easily, do you? Well, I can't say that is a bad quite from the point of view of a detective. Are you that much against the idea of me investigating this case? No, it's not that, but if it's not, then why don't you share the details of this offer with us? I look around me. Mr. Watson and James looked at me with stare fascination on their face. I slowly opened my mouth. I started noticing slowly after I come out of the mirror. A funeral for my husband about 2 weeks ago. I hear a soft scream sound at night at first. I thought it was a mere coincidence when I found out it come from the kitchen. I took the candle stand and went to the kitchen. When I listened closely for the sound, it turned out to come from inside the wall. Thinking it was I went back to the bed and to place mousetraps first thing in the morning. But then I suddenly noticed that it wasn't mouses at all. How did you arrive at that conclusion? The sound was different. The sound. At first I heard something inside the wall at such a scream sound that couldn't have been mousing. But then there was another sound. Another sound. And what kind of sound was that? The sound of footsteps, Mr. Holmes. Footsteps. As if something is walking inside the walls. Tap, tap, tap. That's not the sound a mouse makes, no way. Underthinking, indeed. Thinking all possibilities explain removing the impossibilities that should leave us with the truth. Mr. Holmes? Emily, if you permit, I'd like to take a gratitude of your kitchen, please. That will not be a problem, of course. It's over here. Sorry for the mess. No, no. You seem to spend a lot of time here, but what's this? Mr. Watson picks up a piece of potato that James had been working on before. You was in the middle of preparing dinner, were you? Huh? Oh, well, yes, actually. I do bother your... Please, we should notice. Look at the time. We should really be leaving. Holmes? Holmes! Shh! Oh my God, Holmes. Holmes like, shush, I'm investigating. As he said, Mr. Holmes entered the kitchen. He put his ear against the wall and stand rough on the wall with his clack. Knock, 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 knock. And before long, he seemed to have noticed something as he stand connected on the spare area of the wall. Let me just do this. On. What are you doing? What are you doing? Jones kept on roughing on the wall as if he had heard Mr. Watson at all. Oh my god, hold on. I see. What is it you see, Holmes? Emily, I'd like to ask you a few questions. Is that alright? He suddenly turned on me with a serious look. Yes, of course, has anyway. It's really unusual to have a fireplace in a spot like this, isn't it not? Yes, it is my husband's grandfather building this house, and he seemed to prefer this kind of thing. It's more convenient for a fireplace to be in a living room, or as the everlast in a bedroom, and only in high-class household at that. And then there's the decision on the top of it. They're quite particular, are they? There were 4 glass balls embedded in the wall above the fireplace. That Mr. Holmes was looking at a red one, a blue one, a yellow one, and a green one. 4 crystal balls of different colors. These was made by the inlay notice look like a dish at first glance, but it's not possible to remove them. Yes, it is quite an unusual design by a husband and grandfather with an expression at making things like this. Wait. Yeah, yeah, Emily said that. Oh god. Yes, it's quite unusual design by a husband and grandfather with suspecting and making things like this. Do you mind if I spit them from a bit closer? Mr. Holmes examined his hand and carefully examined the area around the crystal balls. I think this one can be moved, can it not? It looked like it, yes. I also noticed when I was cleaning, it seems they can be moved both hard and violent. It would seem so. Mr. Holmes mumbled to himself. By the way, Emily, is there a kind of legend that goes along with the house? Sometimes the characters are pursued a little bit more recruit. A legend. I look back on. I'm gonna skip this freaking story of the colors thing because this is a long story. I look back on my short life of marriage and searching through my memories. I moved into this house with my husband, Tom Schott, after getting married. It had been a while since my husband's aunt had passed away, so the early floor of the house was covered with dust, and I recall we both worked hard to clean it all up. Cleaning it was not a problem for me since I'd been working at a homemade for my private exploring. But my husband was a man and used to work with horses every day, so house cleaning was not really his cup of tea. But he never said it was a women's job, and I was really glad that he helped me in all his cheerfulness. We was cleaning the fireplace in the kitchen. He was singing an odd song that he said he had learned from his father when he was young. He said he wanted me to remember the song. I thought it was strange, but he said he told me the reason because it become long. But before long never happened, and my husband died in a crush dish. Oh man. Wait. It's not a legend as such, but I do know of the song. It's been passed on gratitude to gratitude. It's a nurse rhyme send of like Mother Goose. I searched through my memories and remember the words. Let me skip this. Nope. 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 I'm skipping it because we don't really need to do the color code thing. Alright, there. Thank you, Miss Hudson. That was most informant. Informant? What do you make of this, Watson? What? Me? Let me think. Mr. Watson seemed distressed as this sound question. I think that Emily is not only looked pretty, but had a lovely singing voice as well, like Skylight. Sky Lake. Okay, Watson. You're flattering me. Don't be so harm, Emily. I didn't know you was such a good singer either. You should sing for me again sometimes. Not yet, man. Just wait. What? But I don't think that's the point right now, is it, Mr. Holmes? I was surprised by this unselling praise that I didn't know what to do with myself. Mr. Holmes lowered his eyes and seemed to be lost in thought for a while until suddenly he gives a glowing smile. There is no doubt that your wonderful voice have solved the measured parts of this riddle. By the way, Watson, what is it? It's dinner time. We should really excuse ourselves. What about the riddle, Holmes? We shall have to visit again for that. If we excuse us, Miss Hudson, have good night. Good night, my lovely lady. Watson. Good night, my lovely lady. What on earth was that all about? Don't ask me. I don't trust those guys. They might be up to something. I guess it was kind of odd. I just dated one of them. I'm gonna date another one, dude. Yeah, she thinks so too. Right, Emily? James sounds happy. He seems to be waiting for me to continue. I guess if I had to sum it up, my feelings on them, I say they... Kind of interesting, I guess. Emily! It's so boring being alone in this house. I think I am going crazy. That's why I was looking for lodging in the first place. If I have to live with people, I'd rather live with joy ones than with boring ones. If I have to live with Mr. Holmes and Mr. Watson as very last, I'd be sure not to die of boredom. On the contrary, it's actually seemed pretty exciting to me. But what if they trick? I told you, James. Don't worry too much. Of course I worry. Is that obvious? You reported to me, Emily. James. Poor Maury. Poor James. Poor freaking James. Poor freaking Maury. Maury probably. Boy. If I only have more biological and fineness strength to support you, none of this would be necessary. James? I feel like James quitting. Oh, I'm skipping this. Tap, tap, tap. Night have come again, and the noise have started again as well. Uh-huh. He acted as if he... Let me just skip this, I even know this is older news, so let me just... I don't think I can skip this, so I'm just gonna skip it myself. Prologue ended. Woo! Great. Okay. What? Emily. Mr. Holmes? When I asked this sound voice, Mr. Holmes raised his finger to his lips. Okay, so what's in here? Alright. Good evening, Emily. Nice evening for it. Good evening. Sorry for disturbing you at this hour, my lady. Good evening, Mr. Holmes and Mr. Watson. What is it? Click. The back door silently opened, and we quickly turned around. Oh my god. Good evening, Emily. James? And Mr. Holmes and Mr. Watson. I hear this is the time to be visiting a lady, home gentleman. Or is this kind of thing usually gets up to? That's, you have quite the shaking tongue, actually. We thought we'd find you here, Mr. Maury. Holmes? You've been staring at us from your window the whole time, are you? That's wrong about it, Emily. Of course I am, and if you are, then why did it never occur to you to help her with this footstep problem? She had been expecting it. I mean, clearly, Emily didn't tell him, so that's why he didn't solve the problem. He'd be like, Emily, you need to tell this man. Listen, you can't hear it ever now. The kitchen is very quiet, and I could feel Mr. Watson and James hold their breaths. Holmes dragged me all the way here. So, I guess that means you have something to say about this whole order, am I wrong? You are quite right, Watson. Then let me just move my feet. Then let's cut to the chase. Tell us what you think, alright? I don't think it's very big. Oh my god. You're quite right, Watson. No, wait. Watson said that last part. I don't think it's very becoming of a gentleman to keep a lady in fear for this long. There is a time for everything, but I suppose I can arrive what I discovered. Mr. Holmes once again moved his relaxing finger to his lips. Right, so what do you all make of this sound? What? Why do you ask us now? Let's see, it seems to come from the wall, but it don't sound like it's mousing. It's not a mousing, indeed. But then, what is it? What did it sound like to you? Wait. Oh, alright. Oh, and no, ghost or supernatural bullcock. These aren't the Middle Ages. Well, come on, anyone. His arms was smiling merely when... What should I do? This is starting to get annoying. What's wrong, Emily? You look like you have something to say. Mr. Holmes looked at me with an expression twinkling in his eyes. For a moment I hesitated, but then I gave the clear answer. But if you put it like that, there really isn't much else left. Oh. Mr. Holmes. Eyes twinkle in the moonlight. Dancing in the moonlight. Never mind. Then, what do you make of this sound, Emily? They... something natural, or if not something human? Something human. Don't make fun of me. I know it's not possible. There's no way that someone could be inside their wall. But I think there may ever well be a way. What? There's on naming atop the fireplace. You said they move honestly fairly, right? Yes, but let me just stop here. Cause I've got this ticket thing right here, so let me just stop right here and then come back next time.